be in a room with a lot of people that are where you want to be. You're going to be in a room with a lot of people that are going to give you opportunities. You just have to take advantage of it. You're going to be in a lot of spaces where you can maximize your potential beyond the game. So this is very essential and very important for all athletes and all business professionals, whether in the sports industry or not, to be at this event, because it's bigger than just listening to people to talk. It's the camaraderie, it's the fellowship, it's the networking opportunities. And that's the essential blessing to being a part of a conference like this.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Welcome once again to the Athletes Unite Conference podcast. I'm one half of the podcast. Of course, my other half is Classy James. She is the host and she is the curator of the Athletes Unite Conference. So, salute to her. Shout out to all of our sponsors. We got Glassdoor, we got Amazon, and they're going to be showing up and showing out at the conference. So first and foremost, if you have not reserved your ticket, your flight, your hotel, your Airbnb, go ahead and do that at this time, right? So you can be in Atlanta July 15th and 16th because it's going down. And we are going to really break the mold on those 2 days for the conference, all right? Okay, so, I'm excited to go ahead and welcome today's guest of the podcast. We got Mr. Deonte Holden. He's a professional football player. He's an entrepreneur. He's a philanthropist, among many other things. But Deonte, how you doing, man? What's going on, boss man?
I am really good. I'm so blessed to be a part of this opportunity. One, to speak to you, powerful introduction. Great way to, shout out the whole event. But I'm really thankful to be a part of this event and really just help empower people beyond athletics. So, I'm excited to be it.
Yeah, man. Let's get it. So who is Deonte? Who is Deonte Holden, man? Talk to
us. Exactly what you just said. I am an advocate for athletes beyond the game. One of my biggest things in life is to create opportunities for athletes so they can be able to excel beyond that, through their journey, beyond their journey, the whole nine. That is something that I'm truly passionate about. So with the company that I built, Law of Athlete, our mission is to really provide products and resources to maximize human potential. Because I truly believe if you're maximizing your potential, both on and off the field or on and off the court, whatever sport that you play, you will, become successful, whatever success is to you. So that's essentially what I want to do, is be able to impact the world, man. And I do that through the company, Law of Athlete.
Gotcha. So where did the idea or the concept come from for Law of Athlete? Because I mean, I've seen some of the content on Instagram. I came across, I was like, dang, they're putting out some quality content and just shooting some good footage. So where was the inception, I guess we can say, for Law of Athlete?
So, it's crazy, bro. It actually started with my story, being able to, all of the things that I did in college. I was able to be a huge advocate for being more than just an athlete, whether it was getting a bunch of degrees, obviously playing football, getting into different entrepreneurial ventures, studying abroad, internships, the whole nine. I really wanted to take advantage of my college career the best way possible, because your sport is so short-lived, but your platform can help you get a lot of different things that you want in life. So when I didn't get drafted, going into the 2020 NFL draft due to COVID and the whole nine, I decided to say, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and write a book and all that. And my mom was like, nah, don't write a book, create a business. So I didn't really know what that meant, right? I didn't know what to do. But I was on the phone with a friend of mine, and they said, when you create this name, it gotta be like it makes sense. And I lied to you not. I was on Instagram one day, and I was scrolling on Instagram, and a friend of mine was the creative director of NC State Athletics at the time. And there was a graphic that showed Law of the Jungle. So, and it was a football player the whole night. And it dawned on me, I said, law athlete. So I'm like, dang, that kind of got a little ring to it. So I went to see if it was available. It was available everywhere, like trademarks, every social media channel. It was like a unicorn situation. So I was like, yo, I think this is God right here. Like I may have to go ahead and do this. So I trademarked the name. I started adding all the social media handles. I thought of everything that law athlete could possibly be. I got every social media handle for it, so it's gone. Every domain name gone. So I sat on it. I was building the brand without nobody knowing. My whole goal was I'm gonna build this brand. Nobody gonna know it's me, and I'm gonna just announce it as me. But then I got some words, and it was like, no, if you really want to push this brand, and if you're gonna be a true advocate for athletes, you're gonna have to be the face. So that's what I did. And I decided to start creating some real deep meanings behind the name. Like there's this book, it's called The 48 Laws of Power. And I didn't read the whole book, don't get me wrong, I didn't read the whole book. But I asked myself, I'm like, yo, why isn't it laws for athletes? Because it's so many different things that we need to abide by, right? So I started to say, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and create laws for athletes, and I'm gonna create 12 because for me, the number 12 is the number of completion. I mean, you got 12 months in a year, so the number of completion. So I'm real deep into why I do the things that I do. So we created those 12 laws, but I wanted to take a step further where it was these laws are not just going to be something that athletes can abide by. It can apply for anybody, right? So law number one, pick the right team, right? That is not something that athletes need to do. That's anybody, whether it's picking for athletes, picking the right agent, picking the right school, picking the right coach, picking the right trainer, picking the right friends, picking the right girlfriend, picking the right boyfriend. Like these people are going to be factors of your success, or they could be factors of your failure, right? So, but if you're looking at it from beyond athletics, picking the right friend group, picking the right job to go to, the whole nine, like all of this is very essential to picking the right team. You go into law number two, prioritize your mental and physical health. That's not something that athletes just need to do. That's something everybody needs to do, right? So, and if you do that, that will be another step closer towards your success, right? So I wanted to create something very broad that different people from different backgrounds, ethnicities, whatever the case is, can bring their perspective on what it means to them. Because everybody's going to run into a situation where these laws are going to apply to you in some way, shape, or form, right? So I looked at my life. I looked at everything that I've done, the mistakes that I made, the wins, the losses, and I created laws out of it that apply. I did it like a case study. And I asked around and said, hey, yo, do these laws apply to you? What should I add? What should I not add? What should I take out? And it took a lot, but it was worth it.
That's good. That's strong, man. That's strong. First of all,
Yeah,
man, let's just rewind it back to Mom Dukes. Man, shout out to
yeah.
Mom Dukes, man. She said, don't just write a book. She said, build a business. Ooh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because at the time, I'm not gonna lie, I was so like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna just go ahead and write a book and make a killing, I'm gonna make a killing off my story. But it's like, that's only for you. You need to do something that's gonna really truly impact the world in such a way. So uh, that's what I went towards. I just had to figure out how to do it.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think that's rich though, because yeah, just like what you said, yeah, the book would have done you a lot of good. But then even at the same time, the people that bought the book, it would have impacted some lives for sure. But by doing what you're doing now and creating the resources you're creating now, you're really putting people in position to like, see what it looks like, see what the transformation looks like in action. So I think, I
Right.
think that's really dope. But
Yeah.
so man, so now even with you now being a professional football player and like doing how is there time for you to do this and still go and compete at a high level? And I know the workouts and all that stuff. How was there time for you to, be able to do all these things?
Law number one: pick the right team. Pick the right
Mm,
team. You see how it apply?
mm.
No matter what you do, the laws are embedded into your lifestyle. You don't have to be an athlete for it to work. You know what I'm saying? So the right team. And I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful for the people that I have in my life that's being able to volunteer, being able to like work with the brand the whole night. I never say work for me. I don't like that. Work with the brand, work with me, volunteer. Without those people, my parents, friends, other team members, man, it wouldn't be where it at today. A lot of people made a lot of sacrifices uh, for law athlete to be what it is now and for what it's going to be later. So it took a lot of trust, no micromanaging. It's, just having faith that people are going to do what they say they're going to do. And we've done it uh, with no capital, no investments, no nothing. This is straight up from saving up college money, so it's a blessing, man. It's a blessing to have the right people involved.
Man, yeah, that definitely is a blessing, especially when you talk about no capital involved. Because I know now, well, not even now. I'm sure this is a thing before, but I hear a lot of people who want to start a business or grow a business, or they have an idea. The first thing that they typically look for is somebody else to fund their business before, they're the ones who's willing to put in the money and, put in the thought. And like you said, go through that process. So I'm glad you even said that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of work, but it's truly worth it. And when you give, when you stop into the investor game and you give people data to show like what you're doing is really working, it's more of a reason why they would give you the money versus it's just an idea that may or may not work,
Most definitely. So Deonte, I gotta ask you, why is it important? Why is it important for athletes to unite?
Oh man. First of all, I mean, it's so important because relationships is everything. All right. All right. And I tell people this all the time. If you got the right amount of relationships, there's three things. You don't ever have to worry about being poor, right? You don't ever have to worry about, not having a job. You don't ever have to worry about not having food. You don't never have to worry about not having a place to stay because you have the right relationships. You know the right people, right? It's so much that you can learn from, right? When you're in a room with people who are like-minded, that creates the mastermind. That creates the mastermind. Everybody is coming in with so many different ideas, so many different resources. And it creates that union where it's like, yo, this is really dope because there's so many different people that's probably looking for their way, some people that have a way. But when you bring in all of these people together, man, it's something very special. It's something very special. People are getting mentored or indirectly mentored because of the person that they see, right next to them. Um, so it's very important for athletes to really unite and help each other out, help each other get through that next step, whether it's transitioning, whether it's training, whether it's knowing what to do, what not to do in the corporate space, in the professional space, with their sport. Man, it's just so essential. If you're just going off your own thoughts, man, you may be leading yourself to nowhere, So, it's very important to get that guidance from people that look like you, from people that been in your shoes, from people that been where you want to go. So yeah.
For sure. Yeah, definitely. If you're the only one bouncing your ideas off your own head, then that only get you so far. So
Man, what? Yeah, nah. You can't do that, man. Can't do that. So an event like this, man, it's going to be so special because you're going to be in a room with a lot of people that's probably faced the things that you face. You're going to be in a room with a lot of people that are where you want to be. You're going to be in a room with a lot of people that are going to give you opportunities. You just have to take advantage of it. You're going to be in a lot of spaces where you can maximize your potential beyond the game. So this is very essential and very important for all athletes and all business professionals, whether in the sports industry or not, to be at this event because it's bigger than just listening to people to talk. It's the camaraderie, it's the fellowship, it's the networking opportunities, and that's the essential blessing to being a part of a conference like this.
yeah, for sure. So what is it about the conference that you're most looking forward to, Deonte?
I mean, honestly, everything. Just being able to meet different people from different backgrounds and really learn from one another. Because if you're not learning, you're not growing. If you ain't growing, you're dying. So being able to learn from different people in different backgrounds, just being in that space. I'm honestly really excited for me to speak as well. Um, so people can really understand what it means to live by the law of athlete. Um, so people can really understand the value in the laws and how it applies to not just sports, but your life, right? Um, so yeah, that's really what I'm most excited about.
Yeah, man, that's a good place to be. There's nothing like, getting to be able to speak and pour into people and get to see the light bulbs come on. It's like, dang, for people to see and hear something is one thing, but then for them to hear it and then see how it applies to them in their own life, it's like, oh, I see that now. I see what my
Exactly.
mom was saying based on connecting it to what Deonte said, and oh, now it makes
Right. Right. Exactly. When you start to really tap into people's belief systems, man, you can really go a long way because anything that people believe, whatever is created based on their beliefs, man, they embrace it all, because it's tapping into their why. It aligns with them. So any product that's created, any resource that created, it aligns with them so much. So it's easy for them to embrace it.
strong. That's strong. That's strong. So before I let you go, Deontay, I gotta ask you this. I haven't asked nobody else this yet on the podcast. You're gonna be the first one. But
Okay.
give me something. Give us something that that is, like it's just like a fun fact about you that many people may not know. Like just a random funny fact. I don't know, man. Not didn't mean to put you on the spot, but
Nah, you're good. You're good, bro. I love to draw. So I love art and stuff like that. I actually drew all my tattoos. My mom, when I first wanted to get tattoos, she's like, "I'm not letting you get no tattoos." And I was like, "But what if I draw it?" And that was my negotiation right there. Now I don't have a lot. Don't get me wrong, but when I wanted one, it was like that was my negotiation tactic. Okay, I draw it, and then that's kind of what happened. So
oh man, I love it. That's cool, man. That's cool, man.
yeah.
Well, Deontay, please let the people know where they can find you, how they can follow you, and how they can connect with you at this time.
Oh man. So from personal, Instagram is cool. Huncho Holden is the Instagram handle. I don't really get on Twitter that much, but Instagram you can definitely find me. But for Law Athlete, everything Law Athlete. So no underscores, no periods, no dots. Everything Law Athlete. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat. It don't matter what it is. Pinterest, LinkedIn is all Law Athlete. So.
Dang, you lucked up with that, man. You luck. Well, that nah. I'm not gonna say you luck. I'm not gonna take no. I'm not gonna take no credit away from God. That was definitely a God thing. For it to
That was
be
God.
that. Yeah, because
Yeah,
that's
that was a
that's
very that's a unicorn situation. So I'm so thankful for that. But yeah, man, thank you so much for the conversation, Jonathan. You did great. I'm extremely happy to be on this call with you. I'm extremely excited to meet you. Uh, and yeah, man, keep doing your thing.
likewise, my dear brother. Likewise.
Yeah.
Everybody out there listening, if well, no, if you haven't pushed pause yet, okay, well, y'all need to get your tickets. Okay, you need to go ahead. First and foremost, you need to go ahead, click the links down in the show notes. We're gonna have Deontay's links down there. So follow him, follow Law of Athlete, but follow him all the way to the conference. All right. So make sure that you get your tickets. We're gonna have the link down in the show notes. And on behalf of Classy James, as well as myself and the Athletes Unite Conference podcast. Remember, we're here to ultimately provide athletes with resources to be successful, with during their sport and beyond. All right. So tap into the podcast, follow us at Shakeout LLC, and just stay connected. But until next time, family, this is the Athletes Unite Conference podcast, and I'm Jonathan Jones. Peace.